for Lucky 13. They could take it here. Spawning in the bottom left of Ultrazeme Stronghold. For Team Lucky 13. Gonna try to wrap this up. That's our yellow Terran player, StudPuffin. He's quite the penguin. Quite the penguin. Puffins are penguins, right? Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. And his opponent in the top right, our purple Protoss player. Needs to win to keep BearSloths' hopes alive. It's NiL. Yeah, TVP. I want to say StudPuffin had a TVP last week as well that I cast. I'm not certain. Did I even cast Lucky 13 last week? I don't even know. I'm just making things up at this point in my life. Don't care. Yeah, oh well. This is a huge map. Not playing macro on this is kind of difficult because it's just so freaking easy to keep your base alive. Right, take your natural base, no problem. No problem. And it looks like StudPuffin's actually going to go ahead, or is going for his barracks first. He's not going to try to go CC first or anything. I am a big fan of CC first against Protoss, especially on a big map. The build just makes sense. It just makes sense. NiL, not surprisingly, getting his gateway and going to be scouting around now. Where's he going first? Looks like he's going heel first. And then probably over to here. So he'll find his opponent pretty soon. He might be able to get in there and see the gas that's coming from StudPuffin. So this is going to be a Reaper. Likely a Reaper. Especially given the fact that he has his barracks rallied all the way across the map. Probably going to be a Reaper opening. A lot of interesting follow-ups you can have to that, whether he decides to pull out a gas or stay in the gas and add on a factory really quickly. And go for like Widow Mine play. Especially recently with the Widow Mine buff against Protoss shields. Just a couple Widow Mines can be a deciding factor in a game in TVP now. Get in there and kill 7 or 8 probes really easily. No problem, no problem. NiL, only one gas here. Probably going to expand pretty quickly. I mean, this is the easiest map to take an expansion on, so why not? I mean, he is Protoss, so he could all in off one base anyway, but oh well. He might expand, I guess. StudPuffin actually, he's got a chance to actually be able to keep his opponent out of the base if he's able to react quick enough, which would be really nice for him. There's no reason for this to be down right now. He could lift that. Yes, he is going to lift it. Nice. And actually, the Reaper's going to pop out right when the probe gets here. So the probe may just get killed off really quickly. I'm not sure if he saw it. He does see it, so he could come back and come kill it, but he is. Nice. He's going to go kill it. Even with the Reaper out, he is SCV scouting, so he wants to make sure of everything as quickly as possible. No Stalker on the way or anything Zealot at all. There is a Mothership Core coming. Mothership Core is a little bit more difficult to push away a Reaper with. It is very slow. It can be juked around a lot by the Reaper. Be very, very annoying to deal with as a Protoss player. NiL is going for his expansion here, and it's going to take a while for the Reaper to get over there. And by the time it does get over to the base, the Stalker will be finished. He's going to be able to push that away pretty easily. StudPuffin also going for his quick expansion. And reactor and factory, actually. He has stayed on this gas, so that's a pretty quick factory. Wouldn't be surprised to be seeing Widow Mines relatively quickly out of our Terran player here. Second gas finally been taken here for NiL, and still only this single Stalker right now. Nothing else out of the gateway. Another Stalker being made. Reaper's going to be finally finding his opponent now. Yeah. He doesn't really care to go kill probes or anything. He just wants to scout around and see what's going on. Actually, he's going to run directly into the Stalker and will probably die. The probes could snipe it off. So he has seen everything, but this Stalker will kill it. Okay, good. I know Reapers are really slippery, but still. That would have been pretty amazing if it got out. Factory is finished. Starport is coming on the way, and it is going to be a Widow Mine, and likely you can see just a Widow Mine and some Marines dropped. Just to keep his opponent on his back foot. There is a robot facility already on the way for our Protoss player here, so he's going to have an observer out pretty quickly to fend off those Widow Mines. But still, if you just don't notice a Widow Mine coming in, if you don't see it right when it drops, you may not think there's one there until it already goes off, which is really painful to deal with. Behind this StudPuffin is getting his second gas finally. Both players are pretty even on workers right now. Protoss is a little bit ahead. Mules will make up for that slight disadvantage of the Terran player. So long as he starts building workers. There he goes. Building workers, always a good thing. There's probably a little bit of supply cap there. Needs to start building another depot. Actually building an engineering base, so he's probably going to go for quick upgrades here, which could be nice. And the first observer is already on the way for NiL, so This Widow Mine may not be able to get too much done, and actually there's a... I'm not sure why the Tech Lab's there, unless he's going to lift the CC or the... not the CC, the starport or the barracks onto it. I would imagine the barracks is going to get lifted onto it, not the starport. And actually he's not even going to bother taking any Marines with this Widow Mine. I think he's supposed to drop the Widow Mine into the natural base and see how many kills he can get with that, just doing that. And he's actually adding in missile turrets into his main mineral line and natural mineral line, just making sure he's nice and safe here. He doesn't want to lose to anything annoying, like an oracle, a couple oracles just popping in and killing everything just immediately. And observer and medevac, 2 ships passing in the night, actually pretty far from each other. Yeah, this little one's actually really annoying because that is the only observer we have. Actually, no, it isn't, but okay, actually really nice up there. He must have seen that somehow, or is he just expecting it? Oh, the luckiest of lucks. So he's going to see that, but still, Widow Mine has to die before it actually drops, which he's just going to get out of there. He's not going to bother. No point. He can actually drop this Widow Mine off at the 3rd base, just be annoying in that regard if he wants to do that. Probably his best bet right now, just to get something done with this Widow Mine, at least to keep it there. But the observer has moved over into this spot where that is, so he's going to be able to track that around, make sure it doesn't drop anywhere. Double Forge coming in from NiL. Still no like AoE decision just yet from him. He's got a good amount of money here, and actually looks like this medevac is going to try to drop the Widow Mine, but again, observer is tracking it. Nope, he's going to back off anyway. No problem. And yeah, this medevac isn't going to be able to do too much. Not really anything it can do there. +1 just about finished here. Stim is about 50% done for our Terran player. And he's just trying to ramp up his bio production. Only on 2 barracks still, and this factory just pumping out Widow Mines. It's actually, it's a really interesting play. Again, with the Widow Mine change, it can be really difficult for Protoss players just to deal with it. This one, medevac is going to try to push in there again, but observer has been seeing it the entire time. And again, stalkers are in place to push that away. Not an issue at all. Boosting away, he's going to go back home. No reason not to. Nope, no he's not. Where is he going? Looks like he's going to try to drop this to the 3rd base. Just try to be a little bit cheeky. There's another observer sitting out here, though, so it's be difficult for this Widow Mine to do any damage, but it may catch a probe going down there to make a base. This is really a cool move out of, what's his name? Vortex earlier. Dodging a Widow Mine shot. Well, he's going to build a hatchery. Saw the Widow Mine, backed off, baited the shot, made an extractor, stayed alive. Apparently it's something easy to do, but it was still looked cool, so whatever. It is going to be Templar tech from our Protoss player here, and Charge as well, so he's not even going to bother going into Colossus. It's going to be Charge Lot Archons, and I would imagine Storm. Just going blank Charge Lot Archon is a little bit difficult, and with all these Widow Mines here, Charge Lot's not the greatest unit to have when you have a bunch of Widow Mines. You kind of need to stay with the Colossus when there's a lot of Widow Mines out, and surely he has seen this. He did see that the reactor was still on the factory at the least, so he knows that's a possibility. And yeah, he does see that Widow Mine was there, and I'm not sure if he actually got a kill. It may have. It killed a probe, I believe. Actually, there's a drop in the main base that I completely missed. StudPuffin trying to get some work done, getting a few workers' kills, but Overcharge went down, so he's going to be nice to safe from that now. And actually, this medevac may be, it may be a little bit trapped. Maybe a little bit trapped. He got 3 more worker kills on top of the Widow Mine kill. But not a lot of damage done, and he's kind of lost the use of this medevac for a little while, but eventually he can come back in and just drop those units when there's another engagement going on somewhere else, and completely draw his opponent away and be really confused. Be nice. 3rd base already on the way for NiL. 3rd base just about to finish up here for StudPuffin, so he's going to be able to and get his 3 base economy ramping up. He's got 2 engineering bays done. Not actually using the upgrades yet. He doesn't really have the gas to do so at the moment. He is already going into ghosts, and he did see that the Templar tech was there, so he knows he needs those ghosts pretty freaking quick. And yeah, finally robotics bay coming in from NiL, as well as a few more gateways, 3 more gateways being added in, and this is a huge drop moving out for our Terran player. And if he's going to be able to get in here, this could do a lot of damage. There's only 3 stalkers, and they're actually moving away, but he did actually put in a Templar, but this medevac did drop down, but actually that Templar used a feedback on that, so now there isn't a feedback or a storm for this army, and there's a bunch of Widow Mines there as well. Widow Mine not going to get a shot off, however, so too bad so sad for it. Another one of mine is up and available to burrow somewhere. 2 Zealots trying to be warped in, just die immediately, and where's his army? His army is finally moving back. He only has 4 Templar with Storms available, but there's a good amount of Widow Mines, and Widow Mines, again, are pretty good against charge lots, unless he just completely avoids Widow Mines, which is a distinct possibility. 1 Storm goes down, actually mainly hitting the Zealots, and wow, quite the shot on that Widow Mine. That is rough. It didn't get many kills, but let's look how much health those Zealots lost. There's a ton of health there. Widow Mines did get cleaned up eventually, but another 3 workers have died for NiL, and now he's probably kind of afraid of that happening again. How did this medevac get away? It has 1 HP. Medevac has 1 HP. That's cray. That's insane. NiL's probably going to start playing a little bit more defensively and adding in some cannons and other static defense so he stays safe from that. And StudPuffin has a pretty beefy army back here. There is only +1/+1, however. +2 is about 75% done, but not the armor version. He only has the weapons coming out for +2 weapons. His opponent only has 2/2, and he is starting Colossus production. Range isn't done, hasn't even started yet, so by the time his army gets over here, there's only going to be a few storms. Actually, okay, there's a pretty good number of storms here, actually. That's a good number of Templar. He warped in a bunch more. There's 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7 Templar. And I believe they all have at least 1 storm. I don't think any of them have 2, however. Close. They're getting close to having 2. Getting close. Couple more medevacs loading up. Only 1 really has any units in it, but that's going to be a really nice distraction. And again, only this single Colossus range is just now started, and no more Colossus on the way. NiL is super low on his gas count right now, and it looks like StudPuffin is going to try to push in here, at least bait something out of his opponent. Starting to burrow some Widow Mines. One of them does get burrowed, but it gets sniped off immediately. StudPuffin spreading his units out very nicely here, making sure he doesn't get just completely slammed by a bunch of storms when he's not looking. Choosing to load up the medevac that has 1 HP, and there's some stalkers and actually Templar here as well, so oh, that could be dangerous. Actually moving it, that was a very nice move there, and when he does that, he's going to move in with the rest of his army and try to catch off the storms. Storms need to start going down because that's the only thing that's really going to keep this army back. Overcharge goes down, 1 storm goes down, but that's a lot of Widow Mines, and still not many storms. And get another nice spread, and the drop in the main for StudPuffin here is going to do a ton of work. There's just no units to be able to warp in right now. He's not going to do anything. Are a bunch of Widow Mines that are on cooldown at the moment, and most of this army has died out for StudPuffin, which is very nice for NiL. And he actually gets a bunch of Zealots warped in. We will take that out, but medevac boosts away with the army, and he's just continuing to be annoying. He's killed 11 workers so far in this game. And another Widow Mine shot goes off. I think it killed a Zealot. It may have actually taken out a Templar as well. But Observer is over here now. He's finally able to clean up all of those. And the drops finally are cleaned up as well. But behind this, StudPuffin has another standing army. He doesn't have +2 armor. It just now started with +3 attack as well. His opponent is just about at 3/3. And he's going to have a good amount of Colossus soon once he starts chronoing them out. He only has 1, 2 at the moment. And the 3rd one is going to be on the way. And now our Protoss player is trying to set himself up to be defensive and stay safe. When am I moving out? Actually, where's this? When am I going? He's going to go over here to the 4th base. Nope, just kidding. He's going to go somewhere else. What you doing? What you doing, buddy? He's already got 1 kill. He's going to go out. There's observers everywhere. Actually, observer's probably going to see it. Yep. Observer sees it. Actually, it pokes out of its range really quickly. 4th base on the way for StudPuffin, and he's going to be posturing out on the map with his army. It is a pretty beefy army. But again, that's 2 Vikings, and it's a good amount of storms, and what is that, 5 ghosts right now? There's 4 Vikings, so this could still go okay. There's not much of an army here for NiL. It's 111 to 119 supply in favor of the Terran player, army-wise at least. And this 3rd Colossus is just about to finish. And this army does have 3/3, which is quite impressive at this stage of the game for our Protoss player. And only +2/+1, so this is quite the army advantage, but EMPs go down and actually get all of those Templar completely drain their energy. Oh, there's a few left over. And nice storms, but good splitting out of our Terran player, and only the 1 Colossus left over. 1 storm left. Another storm could go down. He doesn't really need it, though. He does clean up the army. There's another army left over, but he needs to not lose all of his medevacs and mines at the same time, at least. He did lose most of that army. So NiL with a nice engagement there. A lot of nice storms. Despite getting a good handful of his Templar EMP'd, he managed to keep a few of them with their energy and stormed his way out of that situation. The R2 mines are going to be pretty annoying. I don't think he even saw them. And there's another mine over here as well. That looks like, oh Lord, mercy. Oh, so lucky. If that had gone off on the probes, it would have been amazing. Instead, it went off on the zealot. That would have been awesome. Oh well, no carnage for me. Marine stimming, trying to find out what his opponent is doing. What am I at the 4th base? Attempted 4th base is going to die, but yeah. StudPuffin has his 4th base up. It is a planetary. It has 1 turret as well, so DTs aren't going to be able to do anything. Not that there's a DT shrine on the field yet. There's a lot of army supply just kind of sitting in the back of the base. It is 4-0. He's got a few zealots in his main. He got some stalkers and a Templar at his natural base. And yeah, he's sitting on a good amount of Templar now. Only 2 Colossus. Well, actually, if he kept going with his Colossus count, he'd be a lot better situation because there's only 2 Vikings right now. And this is a really, really scary army for our Protoss player moving across the map. StudPuffin kind of realizing that's actually probably going to happen and starting to add on some bunkers as well to keep himself even extra safe at this 3rd base location. Always nice to see players do just entrench themselves when they know they kind of have a lead and they don't want to just lose right now because they could lose. It's very easy as a Terran player to go across, do a lot of damage with your army, but lose your entire army and just die to a counterswing of the Protoss. Actually starting to get rid of some SCVs. A little bit of annoyance having to attack that actually. There's 9 ghosts currently, and there is an observer with this army somewhere, I do believe. Yes, there's an observer. But actually nice blink forward, trying to get rid of these ghosts, and Vikings as well kind of out of position, and ghosts not really doing what they need to do here. Just kind of attacking randomly. Does get a nice EMP on the stalkers, but they're stalkers. Not a big deal. Templar do retain all their energy, but they are all balled up. And actually, he has 1 Templar that is out in front, trying to take things out. Actually, may feedback this. No. Snipe feedback war, not going to happen right now. 190 supply to 196 supply, so both players are maxed out now. They're going to need to start taking engagements and starting to actually trade units off as best they can in order to actually make this game do anything. And StudPuffin is going to start just adding in command centers and killing off his worker count, so you can have just a bigger and bigger army. Right now he's a little bit behind in army supply, but once he starts killing off a bunch of these workers, actually I'm not sure what these workers are doing right now. Okay. Strange. Oh, I think they're going to wait for this CC to lift over there. Makes sense. But this army is still out in the middle of the map, 4-0, and we got a nuke on the way. And I really hope that nuke goes off, because that would be hilarious. And actually it looks like the ghosts are going to try to... Nope, just a small stemmed army. Not the ghosts just yet. Both players sitting on 4 bases, just trying to find a way to get in. Actually, there are a ton of Templar back home for NiL. I'm not sure if he knows that. He would probably love to have all those Templar with his main army, because that doubles his Templar supply right now. Actually, 1 Templar moving out front, standing off, say, hey, I'm going to storm in the worst position possible. Not the best of decisions there. And actually, I think he's got a ghost in a medevac right now. May see the cool little play where he flanks with the ghosts. Oh, or is he just going to go nuke? Is he going to use this to nuke? Because that would be awesome. It actually looks like it's not going to get to that situation because NiL is going to start moving in now. And despite this army being kind of spread out already, this is going to be very difficult. Storm's going down, kind of keeping the Vikings at bay, but other than that, the Storms don't really do much. He lost a lot of energy and is getting EMP'd now, and this Ghost just got dropped and drops another EMP on that army, and NiL, rather kind of a poor engagement, wasted a lot of his Storms for not really much of a gain, and now the Terran is moving across the map now. He's under pressure. He does have all his Temper back home, which is kind of a saving grace. It's definitely going to help him out. I wonder if these Widow Mines have actually been doing anything worthwhile when they've been back here. It doesn't seem that way. This Terran army did stem a bunch. There's not really many medevacs right now on the field. Only two more on the way, so it's really difficult for this to actually be healed back up with only the single medevac. And StudPuffin's going to have to sit back and wait a little bit for that to actually happen so he can actually start attacking again, because every stem is really hurting his life right now with this small medevac force. I'm really hoping to see a nuke soon. And actually, Widow Mine kind of getting repositioned here. It did get one kill on something. I imagine a Zealot. May have been a probe, I suppose. Double drop, moving up. He does have one ghost in each of these medevacs, so he does have the option to actually defensive nuke here. He only has the one ghost academy, I believe. I really want to see a nuke. Do it. And he could do it. He could just drop the single ghost on this base and nuke it, or he could take the ghost into the main base and nuke, which would be amazing. Oh, there's the nuke. Oh, I completely missed it. I hit the wrong hotkeys at the same time. Sad story. And actually, I'm sure he sees this. He knows that nuke is there. He knows he's lost this base pretty much. Nuke gonna come down. Doesn't really do too much. Kills a pylon, kills a couple more probes that are left over, but he did keep the army at bay. And so he was able to kill all of those workers, which is a pretty big swing. Not enough energy on those medics to be able to feed back and do anything. And now the medics are going to move into the Never mind. I thought they were going to move into the main base, but not going to happen. Another nuke coming in. There they are. Trying to move in the main base, but there are cannons here, so not a big deal. And StudPuffin is going to move across the map with the rest of his army. It is 3-3-2 for the Protoss army, and 3-3 for the Terrans. So these are really beefy armies right now. What's going on here? I heard something decloak. Where is it? That's upsetting. I heard a decloak, but I don't see anything. Oh well. I really want to see another nuke. Really nice. And I will get it this time. I promise. GSL style. I'm going to get this. +3 shields is just about to finish for our Protoss player as well. So again, massively upgraded armies against each other. And it looks like posturing to take another one. Ghost's not really in a position that you want to be able to fight this off, but nice flank being set up here. A lot of this army is not really doing anything, and another nuke goes off. Get the smoke trail at least. And again, oh, that ghost died, however. Storm's probably going to do a lot of damage here, at least keeping the army at bay, but more and more Templar are just kind of getting sniped off for not much. And at the same time, drop down at the 4th base of our Protoss player, taking out the base completely. Storm's going to go down and push the rest of this army back. And again, players are kind of even, but now there's nothing really left. And NiL lost another base. Meanwhile, Terran player is has 5 bases. Not that he's mining at his main anymore, but he does have 5 bases available to play around with. So that's nice. NiL did retain his work account here. The nuke did not land. Sadly enough, the nuke did not land. And another drop going in. Another feedback goes down. 2 feedbacks go down, so this medevac is really low health, and if it runs into absolutely anything, it's going to die. And actually, it may do just that. Actually, no, not going to happen. No nukes left right now. Actually, the Mothership Core goes down, which is a bit of an annoyance. And NiL, he's having trouble just making any units right now. He's just kind of trying to chase around these drops so much. He's just not making any units. He's got a good amount of gateways, but he's just not producing off them. And so it's 179 supply to 120 supply in favor of our Terran player here. And down a base as well. And eventually StudPuffin is going to have just so many CCs. He's going to just start getting rid of his entire SCV count and just having a huge army. And again, we have a max Terran army. And these Templar don't have the amount of storms that he wants to have on them right now. And there's a lot of full energy ghosts left over. And again, he's going to force his opponent to engage into him. Kind of just poor positioning by our Protoss player, allowing this to happen. The Ghost could swing back, and they're going to do that. They're going to start EMPing everything, going for the Templar, but doesn't quite get there. Actually gets all of the EMPs on the Templar. Very nicely done by those Ghosts. Now these Templar are pretty much worthless. No storms left over at all, and another base goes down. Oh, those are SCVs. Never mind. I thought it was going to be a drop, but that's another base dead. And now there's basically no income for our Protoss player. Despite losing most of his army, StudPuffin is okay here. A lot of his army is left over, is kind of streaming across the map right now. It's not really a big deal. A lot of probes transferring. Is only really a bunch of zealots and some archons left over. And eventually, a Terran army will be able to whittle this down enough with some kiting, which is exactly what he is doing. Dark Shrine trying to be added in, because he may as well at this point. But there's so many command centers for our Terran player. He's going to be able to just scan constantly, but for now, NiL is going to be able to push this away and survive. Maybe. There are a few ghosts, but again, it's kind of this constant stream of Terran army. But now he has no medevacs. He's got 1 medevac. He does have a nuke again. Hope to see yet another nuke. NiL is not making... There you go. He decided to put all of his love into this base here. Actually, a bunch of DTs warped in by a Warp Prism, which is very nice, but there is... yeah, there's a turret here. So these DTs aren't going to be able to do much of anything. Trying to kill the turret. They do kill the turret, but not before the DTs actually die. So not a problem. Not a problem. And another CC being lifted and flown out. Going to take yet another base for our Terran player, and he is just continuing to ramp up his economy compared to his Protoss opponent, who's basically on just a single base of mining. He's going to make a base and a quarter at the moment of economy, which is never a problem you want to be having this late into a game. I mean, we're 35 minutes into the game. Protoss player has 44 workers. Terran player is actually getting rid of more and more workers, getting rid of another 8. It's going to be down to 50. Still having a worker lead, and still enjoying a massive army supply lead at the same time. Adding in as many Templars as he possibly can is NiL. But yeah, this is still going to be a bit of a problem. War Prism is still here. Could run into the main base and start taking out production if he wanted to, which is probably the best thought, given that DT is running into a planetary with a turret here is just going to be death. But before that even happens, StudPuffin is going to continue moving across the map and just take out the rest of this army that is left over. 150 to 85 army supply in favor of our Terran player here. Scanning, just making sure he knows where his opponent is. And we have another engagement. Ghost, Cloak, no more observers left over, it seems, and a bunch of EMPs go off, and none of these temple have any storms left over. And this looks like this is going to be it. 189 supply to 70 supply in favor of our lucky 13 Terran player. And he is going to take the week, the game, the set, match, etc., tennis, whatever, what have you, for lucky 13. 5-2.